There's one stock that's below $5 currently that's set to explode. The ticker, I'll give you right now, it's ONDS. It's a drone stock. Now, there are tickers in that space. AVAV is another one that you want to take a look at. Let's jump into the latest news for ONDS, as well as price levels and what other tickers are looking like currently. Now, this is what ONDS looks like. Pretty clear breakout level on Friday with the Jerome Powell comments. Rate cuts are expected, and the market moved more than expected on those comments. So incredible reaction. ONDS took part in that, and this earnings was okay. It actually held, which for this earnings season is pretty solid. As far as what the company does, they do drones. So when I mentioned AVAV, that's the Pentagon contracted drone maker that looks like this and does have earnings coming up. Doesn't look super strong right now, so it's not the one you want to buy, but you want to keep an eye on it because we want the entire sector to be going up. And then we want to pick the best stock in that sector, which I believe to be ONDS. Here's UAVS, another drone stock that is holding up, but doesn't look excellent. And then a stock that's been doing slightly better is KTOS, which you can see did hold on earnings. So that'll be the closest peer to ONDS. Now, ONDS has private industrial wireless and drone autonomy. So what does that mean? I don't exactly know. But obviously, people who are buying the stock know. And obviously, the earnings were pretty good, which we do get that information in a digestible format, which is money. 500% plus year over year increase. Their quarter revenue was $6 million. So it's a small number, but it's a $5 stock. It's a penny stock. What do you expect? They did have a earnings per share loss, but it beat consensus estimates by a couple cents. So this is this rally about, when was earnings? 10 days ago, whatever it was. Pre-market rally was pretty exceptional on that beat of the consensus, even though it was a loss. We don't want to look into the actual earnings per share number too much because it's a pre-revenue company and it's a penny stock, so it's trading on expectations and a hype similar to some of the nuclear stocks like Oklo, which has gone from 10 to 80 in just about 5 months. So is ONDS going to do an 8-bagger as well? Well, it kind of has already, but because it's so low priced, it could go up significantly more because it's so quote unquote cheap. It's undervalued. This 80% move followed by, I don't know what the room to grow is. You could say it's up to this $8 level is the next level, but this resistance is so far back in time, you don't have to worry about bag holders selling here, which is the great thing. This is more of a visual level that traders, funds, and some algos might see from the past, these price levels being hit. Right now, all you have to worry about is it going to get up to this $5 whole level, which we can see visually here? But there's no trading up here. There's no price at these volume. There's no volume at these prices. So there's blue skies. I'm gargling my words because this is such a great opportunity. But here's exactly what you want to pay attention to. For this to be a great opportunity, you do need to keep your risk intact of $4. If it breaks that $4 level, that's going to be a problem. And we do want to keep an eye on potential news which could pop up. I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but I do know that UAVS does agricultural drones. Okay. This stock, AVAV, does the Pentagon defense drones. KTOS is also a defense company. And there's one other name to take a look at, which is a China drone company. Now, ONDS does have an FAA waiver to expand beyond visual line of sight operations. So those are the drones that you might be able to fly, or I might be able to fly if we got our license to do so. So that's important for a company to be able to do. This will allow them to get into energy applications, rail infrastructure, like seeing for railroads how they're actually, usable utility-wise. I don't know how much utility there is in railroads at all these days, but freight still has to get shipped. And depending on where you live, you've seen trains. But energy is the big one for data centers as well. And for power lines, which are all required. High energy, high voltage power lines are required for these new data center build-outs. Energy is suddenly a hot sector. It was very boring. So ONDS is going to be able to get contracts in that area, as well as agriculture. So that is the stock. I do think the revenue of $5 million is not anything sensational. Last year was $2 million though, so you have to respect the growth, and you have to take some optimism from how the other companies in the sector are performing. Gross margin is up to 50%, which is up from negative 20% in the same quarter last year. So these drone sales are high margin. It's a growing industry, like I mentioned about the energy monitoring. So I think it's a good stock to take a look at. They did recently have a definitive agreement to acquire Apparomotion, an Israeli robotics firm. They work in ground robotics and fiber optics, but this will close in next quarter. So is that necessarily bullish news? Not necessarily, but it does show that they are expanding to essentially humanoids is really what we're talking about. Unmanned aerial humanoids. This is kind of a mouthful, but that's kind of the 10-year plan, the growth plan for a company like this, in a similar way that Tesla's growth plan is robotics in 10 years. So that is the reason for this penny stock right now. That's the price level. And for the next week, I can't think of a better play. Not Tesla, definitely not NVIDIA, to keep on radar. Keep a close eye on these price levels. Be cautious if it does dip below this even 440 level. And look at the gap over the weekend. If you see this Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, see how it's traded, see if this volume has been sustained. We can see pretty significant volume here. Remember, the earnings volume is typical to be higher. So this is a lot of volume on Friday. That's the play, ONDS. Those are the levels. And if you want to talk about your portfolio, there's a link below to selfadvisors.com. I don't want to manage your money. It's a free call. There's also a free training from a verified $9 million day trader. And I'll actually log into his broker right now so you can take a look at the proof and take a look at the training if you're interested. All it costs is your email, and he'll give you the link to go check it out. It's also in the description. You guys are awesome, and here's Adam. Thanks for checking out this free training. I'm here with the lead sensei of the Aikido trading method, Adam Geffert. I'm just going to log into his broker very quickly so you can see that his results are real. This is his Guardian broker. He does have more brokers than this, but you can see that he's made about $4 million net in this broker. Adam?
Yeah, Guardian's been a good broker for me. And in this quick video, I'm gonna show the viewer how to trade. Show them a little taste of the Aikido trading method, method that I've created. So let's start with the times to trade. The best times I think to trade are on the pre-market and after hours. The stocks move differently than market hours because there's less traders at that time, and also you can do it in those hours, and it won't disrupt a day job or it won't disrupt things that you might want to do during the day. And let's take a look at some of the trades I actually did today here. I'll share my screen. Here's a trade I did today. This is KTTA. So I made about close to $30,000 on this broker with this one. And I started out in the pre-market after the news hit at around 7 a.m. I shorted it, then I covered. So this is Yahoo Finance. So you can see the financials, and same with X. I can get some little taste of sentiment, and also sometimes I can ask people about a stock on X. Did you have any more questions, Sam?
I make no claim that anyone's going to make a lot of money trading anywhere near to the amount you make. I think you make no claim either. It's very unusual to make that much money, but how long could someone expect to take to get profitable?
Well, it's true. I think I'm more profitable than most people, even if they're successful traders. But that doesn't mean that you can't be profitable and make less than me, make a couple $100,000 a year. And that's why I created this. I call it a keto trading method.
And how much money does someone need to get started?
Well, to day trade, you need about $25,000 to day trade regularly. That's by law.
And if someone's interested in learning more, how can they reach out?
They can go to ketotradingmethod.com and click on the free training, and there's some links on there where you can go and then you enter your name and email address, and that actually goes to this video right here. But what we'll do is we'll email you and tell you the next steps to learn more about the keto trading method.